Hey gang, how's it going? You know what? I was checking my calendar the other day and I just realized that May 7th is coming up pretty quick. What does that mean? Besides some little movie opening up that weekend, Thor, it's also Free Comic Book Day. The 10th Free Comic Book Day. 10, a decade. Way back in 2002, seems like way back now, but way back in 2002, Joe Field, good friend of the show, Joe Field, had this idea to get kids into reading and also bring back, like me, readers, comic book readers who had, for whatever reason, left comics, have stopped reading, stopped collecting, stopped frequenting your local comic book store. Get them back, give them a reason to come back into the comic book store and start buying and getting back into the stories. That was Free Comic Book Day. And lo and behold, 10 years later, going strong, hopefully another 10,000 years of Free Comic Book Day are in store for us. What does that mean? That means that you don't go into a store and every single book in there is for free. There's select books, and it's not just, whatever, here, stick figures in a stapled together piece of paper. No, real series actually have been launched on Free Comic Book Day. Matter of fact, example for you, last year, G.I. Joe, IDW's G.I. Joe, the new series, G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero, picking up right where Larry Hama and the company left off way back when, during the Marvel days. It kicked off, the new series kicked off on Free Comic Book Day last year, and I've been collecting ever since, just like everybody else who is collecting G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero. Things like that are what you're going to get. You get Spider-Man, you get stuff from IDW, you get stuff for the kids. It's not just for us, the big kids. It's for the smaller kids too. You have Disney, you have Darkwing Duck being given out this year, you have Kung Fu Panda given out this year, and a lot more surprises in store for you. You guys want to find out what it is? Those of you who don't like surprises, I don't know why, but there's some of you out there. Go to GeekSpeakRadioShow.com, go to the link, Free Comic Book Day, click on there, and also on our Facebook page, I do also have a direct link to a list of all the free comic books that will be given out on Free Comic Book Day. Now, to get all of you ready, to get you all excited for Comic Book Day, I figured let's take a visit to two of the show's favorite comic book shops here in San Francisco. We broadcast from San Francisco, so why not? So the first stop will be Caffeinated Comics, then we'll go over to Mission Comics and Art. Two very cool places, two very out of the ordinary comic book shops. I know most of you just walk in and there's rows and rows of comic books, graphic novels, everything else. These two shops, Dave and Leef, respectively, from Caffeinated Comics and Mission Comics and Art, they had some pretty creative, pretty clever ideas to get you into the comic book shop. Not just for the comic books. Well, you'll see. So, strap in. Let's take a little trip into the comic book shop. Here we go. Visiting all the comic book shops that will be participating on Free Comic Book Day, which is May 7th, 2011, first Saturday in May. So, first stop is in San Francisco, our hometown. Caffeinated Comics Company. Dave Pinch is on the phone with us. Hey, Dave, how are you?
I'm doing really well, thanks.
So, we're going to talk about Free Comic Book Day in just a few minutes. First, let's go back a little and tell me a quick history of the store itself.
Well, I opened the store 2 years ago, March 1st, so I've just celebrated my second anniversary. It is San Francisco's only comic book shop that has a coffee shop attached to it.
The reason why it's called Caffeinated Comics.
Exactly.
How did you come up with that idea to combine a coffee store and a comic store?
I had been a practicing attorney for 22 years, and I didn't want to do it anymore. And I wanted to open a comic book shop, but I thought I needed to make myself a little different from the other 10 comic book shops in the city. And one day I was working out with my friend and came up with the idea that I could have a coffee shop.
And you know that there's coffee shops just about on every other corner. What makes the coffee at Caffeinated Comics different than those?
Well, first of all, we use 4-barrel coffee, which is probably the best coffee in the city. We use a La Marzocca machine and just really good ingredients. So we get a better coffee. I've actually been rated by a blog called The Shot. It's a guy that just rates coffee shops in San Francisco, and he's rated me as the 7th best espresso in the city.
There you go. And if you want to rate it yourself, you can go there. The address is 3188 Mission Street, literally right in the heart of San Francisco. right on the corner of Mission and Valencia. The website is caffcom.com, caffcom.com. You guys can just go to ours, geekspeakradioshow.com. There will be a link on there. So now let's go to May 7th, which is Free Comic Book Day. What are you planning? Any special hours, anything like that?
That would be a Saturday. My hours on Saturday are 9:30 to 5, and I'll have everything ready to go as soon as we open. I'll set it up Friday night before the store opens. So yeah, I have people waiting right at the door for Free Comic Book Day when I open.
Yeah, most of the comic book stores do that day. What are the operating hours for the store regularly?
Generally, I'm open from 8 a.m. to 6 Monday through Friday. I stay open until 8 o'clock on Wednesdays for New Comic Book Day, and then the weekends are 9:30 to 5, and I'm here all the time.
Okay, so go say hi to Dave there. Free Comic Book Day, don't forget, May 7th. When you go there, say, hi, Geek Speak Radio Show sent me here. Any upcoming events to the store?
Right now, the only thing I have upcoming is the Free Comic Book Day.
Okay, there you go. And again, if you guys want to go on there, geekspeakradioshow.com is a website. The link is on there. You can find out all about Caffeinated Comics. We've been there. Definitely is one of the coolest places in San Francisco, comic shops. So, Dave, thanks a lot again for coming on.
All right, thank you.
And we'll see you on May 7th.
Bye-bye.
Okay, so another stop on our field trip for Bay Area comic book shops that are participating in Free Comic Book Day brings us right back to San Francisco, the Mission Comics and Art. And on the phone is the owner, Leef Smith. Leef, welcome to the Geek Speak Radio Show.
Oh, thanks a lot.
Thanks for coming on. So before we go to Free Comic Book Day, tell me a little bit about your store, how you came up with it, and how long it's been operating.
Well, Mission Comics Art has only been up and running for the last year and a half. I started partly because there was a need, I felt a strong need for a new comic book store in the Mission neighborhood, and I wanted to do something that was connected to the art scene. So beyond just having a comic book store, I also have a gallery space where I show rotating monthly gallery shows of artists either inspired by comic books, doing comic books, or just sort of have some commonality with the comic book world.
So it's a combination art gallery and comic book store.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, so we just talked to Dave Pinch from Caffeinated Comics, and he has a combination of coffee shop and comic book store.
Yeah.
So both of you guys are showing the diversity, the imagination that is prevalent here in the Mission District. I know myself. And well, let's go to Free Comic Book Day right now. What are you planning for Free Comic Book Day?
Well, last year was just my first Free Comic Book Day, and I really didn't know what to expect. So this year I have a little bit better idea. So I'm going to be having free comics, obviously, and also be running a sale and probably have some other surprises along the way. I'm still planning and figuring out the details. But, trying to just build slowly and not be overly ambitious with what I want to do so far.
Yeah, and those of you who may be hearing about this for the first time, Free Comic Book Day doesn't mean that you walk into the store and every comic book is for free. There's actually a select few that will be available for free that day, right?
Right. And it's actually a promotion, which I'm sure you'll talk about later, that started 10 years ago. But it's done in cooperation between the retailers, the distributor Diamond Comics, and publishers. So all of us contribute to one part of the financial piece. So the publishers will print them at a lower cost, the distributor will distribute them at a lower cost, and retailer stores will buy them at a lower cost, all to make them free to the consumer.
Yeah, and like you mentioned, they are free, obviously, and it's not just here's a comic book. Don't really put any effort into it. A lot of time, last couple of years actually, actual series have been launched on Free Comic Book Day. So don't think that it's just whatever comic book. They are actually pretty good comic books that are given out for free.
Mm-hmm.
And also, so everybody knows that we are going to talk to Joe Field, who's a creator of Free Comic Book Day. In fact, the show, we're going to be there on Free Comic Book Day. So yeah, it is the 10-year anniversary this year. So let's go back to your store, Leef. You also have a book club. Tell me about that.
Yeah. So every month there's a group of people that meet here, and we pick a comic book or graphic novel to read for that month. It's run the gamut from things like Black Hole. I think we did Chew, Asterius Polyp, Umbrella Academy. It's been going on for about a year now. Just a lot of fun.
That's every month?
Yep.
Okay. And how do you join it, or can anybody just walk in?
Anyone can join either on Facebook or meetup.com.
And we'll have a link to those pretty soon up on geekspeakradioshow.com, as well as missioncomicsandart.com, all one word. But again, make it easy, geekspeakradioshow.com. The links are on there. Also, last year, we went to a couple of meetups that you had there, not for the book club. I don't think it was for that. Mm-hmm. It was also for independent publishers, artists, writers. Is that still going on in the store?
Yeah. So I have a comic book creator meetup that meets once a month also for people to get together and talk about the nuts and bolts of publishing, marketing, distributing, writing, whatever sort of comes up. And usually the discussion sort of depends and varies slightly on who's there, but it's a really good resource both for new creators or for people just wanting to hear about different sides of the industry.
Yeah, and again, we've been there. It's a pretty cool place, pretty cool people go there. So we're getting to Mission Comics and Art. The address is 3520 20th Street in San Francisco. Phone number 415-695-1545, or the website missioncomicsandart.com, all one word, or linked up on geekspeakradioshow.com just to make it easy for you guys. Leef, thanks a lot for coming on and talking to us about the store.
Oh, thank you.
And we'll see you on May 7th for a free comic book day.
Happy Free Comic Book Day.
Okay, Leef, thanks a lot.
Sure. Thanks. Bye.
Right, bye-bye. So there you go. A quick warm-up for you. Our two favorite shops in San Francisco, Caffeinated Comics and Mission Comics and Art. Be on the lookout, however, for video interviews. We're going to go to shops that we haven't visited yet, haven't had the pleasure to go. Now we will. I'll go there, talk to the owners, and let them tell you what's going to happen for Free Comic Book Day. Some of them have big parties planned. Don't forget, on May 7th itself, Saturday, May 7th, 2011, Free Comic Book Day, the official Free Comic Book Day. Celebrating 10 years, we, the Geek Speak Radio Show, will be in Concord, Flying Colors comics and other cool stuff. Joe Field's store, Joe Field, the creator of Free Comic Book Day. I thought, where else would we celebrate 10 years than with the guy who started it all? So we'll be there in Concord. Be on the lookout for those interviews and a very special interview with Joe Field. So that should get you warmed up. Those of you who are here in San Francisco and by the Mission District or want to take a trip to the Mission District, Caffeinated Comics or Mission Comics and Art. Links are up on geekspeakradioshow.com.
Geek Speak Radio Show.